Hey guys! Alright, this is Vlogmas Day 3. Miss Elizabeth is going to join me. Pretty girl. Alright, I am doing Motherhood, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I love Mommy.
You love Mommy?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna help me do this video? Alright, so we all know that motherhood is not as glamorous as movies and magazines make it look. I have now been a mom for 5.5 years, and it has been great. I have 3 kids who are all amazing in their own way. But we all know that there are so many things that go into being a mom, so many job titles, so many different things that come up that nobody tells you about. Some of these things, of course, you know are going to happen, but you don't know the severity of it until you are in it. So, I'm going to give you the top 10 things that I have learned so far about being a mom. I have a 5-year-old son, Devin, a 3-year-old daughter, Elizabeth, and a 6-month-old son, Liam. And they are all amazing. I love them all. And I'm going to get started into the top 10 things about motherhood that have good, bad, and ugly parts about it. So, number 1 that nobody ever told me about is how much poop I am going to deal with in my time of being a mom. And it just doesn't stop when they're potty trained. Devin has been potty trained for 2.5 years. He was potty trained at 3 years old. And at this point, he's really good at going to the bathroom by himself, wiping himself, but he does not flush. He's scared of flushing. So I usually tend to go in there and I find the toilet full of something. It doesn't matter what it is. And I explained to him many, many times how important it is to flush the toilet, especially if we have a company over. Nobody likes to see the poop in the toilet. So that's number 1. It's good. It's as good as it's going to get right now. Now with Elizabeth, she's potty trained. She has been for a while now. But the wiping. With little girls, it's totally different trying to get them to wipe. Well, number 1, trying to get them to remember to. Number 2, on how to do it. Because sometimes I'm busy. I don't know that she is in the bathroom and what she's doing, you know. I have the baby to tend to or something around the house. And she doesn't tell me that she's going in there. So I find her knee deep in poop, with poop all over the toilet, poop all over herself, and it is a mess. And then, of course, with Liam, you have your explosive diapers, you have your diaper rash. I mean, with him, he's at the point where he's breastfeeding, formula fed, and he's having, he's starting on solids because he just turned 6 months old. Are you supposed to be doing that?
No.
Can you please get down? Get down. Come on. Come on. Get down. So, that is number 1. Poop. Number 2 is cleaning. I knew living on your own, you have cleaning to do, you have laundry to do. I guess I never really realized how much cleaning you will be due and how consistent it is and how you're always constantly feel like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it can be draining, you know. There's sometimes I'm like, really? My life came down to vacuuming every day, doing 20 loads of laundry a week, etc., etc., etc. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Will you please stop? It's constant. It is so constant. And it can be just super draining.
Mommy.
My other one is clean, or not cleaning, sorry, I just did that. Discipline. And this is like a big one where it needs consistency and you have to stay on the same page with your spouse. But it also can be draining and exhausting and sad. I feel bad sometimes when I have to discipline them. Shh. Like right now, she's about to drive me up a wall. She is on top of me constantly. So Elizabeth always will tell us no, and so now we're having to punish her by putting her in timeout. Devin can get really, really rowdy, and we have to put him in timeout. I don't generally spank, but sometimes there has been a severe situation where I've needed to. I spanked Elizabeth in a public parking lot one time because she kept darting away from me and she was not understanding how severe her consequences could be by getting hit by a car. And I remember getting all these dirty looks because I was just so frustrated with her. I spanked her, I sat her in her car seat, and I shut the door, and I stood outside the car because at that moment I was so under stress because I had all 3 kids and she just kept darting away from me. So discipline for me is just an ugly part of parenthood. Right? You have to do it. It teaches them from right from wrong, but also it can be exhausting. Like right now, she knows she's not supposed to be doing that. Sit down on the couch. Sit. No more. We go through this every day where she's jumping on the couch and on the furniture. It's exhausting. Where are you going? You're just gonna dance? Number 4 is sleep. And I knew when you have a baby, you don't get sleep for a while. Sleep deprivation, gets in. But I never really realized. With Devin, he was sleeping through the night at 1 month. But with Elizabeth, she still got up in the middle of the night until just recently. And it's exhausting. Liam, he still gets up twice a night. But I never really realized how little sleep I would get and how exhausted I would feel all the time. And nobody really ever explained that to me. And I guess all kids are different, but geez, I just never thought I'd be like a walking zombie. Number 5 is how much I would rely on a single beverage of coffee. Coffee gets me through my day. I have like 1 in the morning to perk me up, get me awake, get them breakfast, etc. Start cleaning. And then I have one kind of around 4 o'clock. That's when I need my second one so I can make dinner, baths, and all of that. And I could go into depths about, the losing of the sleep and being so exhausted at the end of the night. And there's no guarantee. I can be so overexhausted that I actually just won't even fall asleep. It'll take me so long. But, coffee. It's amazing, and I always have to have coffee creamer in it, but I rely on coffee all the time. I don't drink a lot of it during the day, but
Mom,
I do have my
bathroom.
Okay, go pee.
Okay.
Don't forget to wipe.
Okay.
I just didn't realize I would rely on it so much. Number 6 is breastfeeding, and as much as breastfeeding is good, it's so hard. And I can get pregnant really easy. That's not a problem. There's some people in the YouTube community who cannot have a very hard time getting pregnant, and I feel bad for them. But then there's people in the YouTube community who breastfeed so easy and can fully breastfeed their children, and I cannot. I have the hardest time producing milk from even just the beginning. I remember going to my doctor and just being like, look, I can't even pump an ounce out of each breast. Altogether, I was getting like half an ounce, and I was expressing out of each boob. And it was so frustrating, and she even put me on a medication, and now I can't recall what the name is because that was months ago. But I remember I was pumping 2 ounces, and I felt so good. And at that time, it was enough for Liam, and I was exclusively breastfeeding. But then it got to the point where he was 4 months old, and he wanted more. And I couldn't do it. I mean, he was frustrated. I was frustrated. He was biting down because he knew he wasn't getting anything. I couldn't express anything out by hand or by pump. And so I finally looked at my doctor and I was like, I think I have to supplement. I think I'll do both. So I have been doing both, and now he's 6 months old and can start eating solids, and we'll see if I can breastfeed and him on solids. We'll see where this goes, but at this point, he's actually not liking breastfeeding. He's getting used to the bottle. So we'll see how it goes. But breastfeeding is no joke. It is not for everybody, and I don't judge people who do not breastfeed, and I don't judge people who breastfeed. To each their own. And I think it is horrible when people sit there and tell people, you're a horrible mom because you don't breastfeed, or you do this and you do that. That's horrible. But it's no joke. Breastfeeding is hard. Next thing is family. Number 7 is family. When you become a mom, I never really saw it coming how many people would be so, number one, judgmental, and your family is like the biggest judge on everything that you do, and they sit there and they give you so much advice, and not all of it is wanted, and it's so hard because you have, I don't know about anybody else, but I had a really good bond with a lot of my family and and my husband Dylan's family. And then we were getting all of these comments and all of this unwanted advice, and I eventually had to say, I'm going to do it this way. I am their mom. I know what's best, and you need to trust me. And I've gotten in arguments with my grandmother who raised me. She raised me, so she's like my mom. I've gotten in arguments with her about this stuff, and it's not fun. It sucks because everybody just wants to step in. Anyways, I gotta get going, or hurry up. I only have 2 minutes. Number 8 is teaching. I love teaching my kids how to be a good person. It is not very easy. It takes a lot of time for them to understand why it's this way and not the other way, but I love it. I love watching them grow and learn. That is so fun for me. Number 9 is being a good mom. Not every day do I believe I'm a good mom. Sometimes I am so down on myself because of like how I had to discipline Elizabeth in the parking lot that day. I was so down on myself. I was like, oh my God, I spanked her. I lost it on her. I'm horrible. And I had like 5 or 6 people tell me, look, it happens. We lose our patience. We cannot be patient 24/7 with our children. And you saw no other way to get her attention. She obviously wasn't paying attention. So I know in myself that I'm a good mom, but sometimes it's hard. Being a mom is like the hardest job. Number 10 is embarrassing moments, and we all know this happens. The meltdowns in the store, or she pees her pants at a friend's house and they're like, oh my God, she's not potty trained, blah blah blah. The judgmental, it's just embarrassing. Sometimes being a mom can be so embarrassing. I'm so sorry this video is long, but thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I love doing Vlogmas. This is so much fun. You guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.